Hello and welcome back to Job Code. Today's video is a special one, inspired by a request from one of my subscribers who asked if I could make tutorials using Visual Studio Code for .NET MAUI development. Since many of you prefer working in Visual Studio Code, I will be creating all my future .NET MAUI tutorials in Visual Studio Code. So if that is your preferred tool, you are in the right place. In this video, we will discuss about how to set up .NET MAUI in Visual Studio Code. Let's get started. To begin with, you need to download Visual Studio Code. It is freely available in the Microsoft official site. I will be sharing the link for the same. As I am using a Mac operating system, so I will be downloading this version of the Visual Studio Code. So I have already downloaded and installed VS Code in my system. So let's get started. Once installed, this is how it looks like when you open it for the first time. Now to begin our journey with .NET MAUI development, we need to install few extensions. So let's go to the Extensions tab and install the .NET MAUI extension. You can easily search this extension in the search bar. I have already installed this extension, so I will not be installing it again. As you can see, this extension is built on top of C# and C# DevKit extensions. So when you start installing this extension, the other two dependencies also get installed automatically. Once you are done with installing this extension, then there are few prerequisites which we need to fulfill. Now let's go to our Explorer view and see what those prerequisites are. In the welcome page, we can see few walkthroughs are available, and one of them is Get Started with .NET MAUI. If for some reason this is not visible to you, you can also search for it in the command palette. The only thing you need to do is, you need to search for walkthrough in the command palette and press enter key. And here you can select Get Started with .NET MAUI. Now, when I click on this, as you can see, there are few prerequisites which I need to fulfill before starting my journey with .NET MAUI development. So the first step will be, I need to connect my account to C# DevKit. So once you click on connect button, it will take you to the Microsoft login page. There you can log in with your Outlook account and you can connect your C# DevKit with your Microsoft account. As I have already connected it, so I will be moving to the next step. Our next step is set up our .NET environment. Now to work with .NET MAUI, we need .NET Framework version 8 or above installed in our system. So you can click on Install .NET SDK button and it will take you to the Microsoft official site. From here you can install the latest .NET Framework version in your system. Now to confirm the installed version of .NET Framework in your system, you can make use of command line to do that. For that, I will open the terminal and write the command .NET version. So this will display you the installed version of .NET Framework in your system. Once this is installed, then we need to set up our .NET MAUI environment. For that, we need to install .NET MAUI SDK. When you click on this button, it will open a command line terminal and start installing the required workloads for .NET MAUI development. Or alternatively, you can also do the same using the command line tools. You can use this command to install the .NET MAUI workload in your system. And to verify what all workloads are installed in your system, you can make use of the command .NET workload list. It will give you a list of all the installed workloads in your system. Once this is done, we are ready to create our new .NET MAUI app. Now you can either click on Create .NET MAUI app button. It will open up the command palette where you can set up your new project. Or you can directly do this from the command palette. If you want to do this directly from command palette, in that case, you can make use of the existing inbuilt commands provided by .NET Framework. So you can make use of the new project command in .NET. Once you click on new project, it will display you a list of available templates in .NET Framework. So I will be selecting the .NET MAUI app template from here. Once the template is selected, you can select the location where you want to create your project. Let us rename this project as My First MAUI App and press enter to confirm. And once you click on create project, this project will be created on your selected location. Now, as you can see, My First MAUI App project is created. This is the Explorer view of the My First MAUI App project. But if you are more familiar with working with the Solution Explorer in Visual Studio, we also have the Solution Explorer view available to us here. If I collapse this and see, we have a Solution Explorer as well. And if I expand the same, we have a MAUI project structure available to us. Now, once our .NET MAUI app is created, we need to make sure we have all the dependencies installed in our system. If you are working on a Mac operating system, you need to make sure that you have Xcode installed in your system. And for Android development, we need to make sure that all the Android SDKs are installed in our system. So for more information on how to install these dependencies, you can click on the given links and it will take you to the Microsoft official page where they have provided all the steps required to install these dependencies. Once we are done with our setup, now we are ready to build, launch and debug our project. Now, when you click on this launch button, you can see command palette is opened with a list of debugger options available to us. So .NET MAUI has provided an inbuilt debugger to us to perform the debugging of our application. If you don't want to use that, there is also another extension available called .NET Meteor Debugger. So it is completely up to you which debugger you want to use. So I will be going with the default one. Now let's go back to the Explorer view of our project and see how we can run our project in VS Code. Now here I have my main page.xml file. If you can see below in our status bar, we have a curly brackets icon here. When you click on it, here you can set your startup project and your debug target. As for now, we only have one project, so by default, that is selected as my startup project. And you can also choose your debug target from here, whether you want to test it on your MacBook, iPhone simulator or Android simulator. So whatever simulators are available in our system, those will be visible here. So let me choose iPhone 16 Pro Max as my simulator for this demo. Now to run this application, either you can press the F5 button or you can go to the Run and Debug tab and click on this Run and Debug button. Once you click on Run and Debug button or press the F5 button, it will ask you to select the debugger which you want to use for this application. As you can see, currently it is displaying me one debugger called .NET Meteor Debugger. It is being shown here because I have already installed the extension in my system. If I go back to my extensions, I have installed the .NET Meteor extension in my system. It is used to run and debug the .NET MAUI applications in VS Code. Either you can use this or you can use the default debugger which comes with .NET MAUI for VS Code. For this demo, I will be using the default debugger instead of this one. So let me go back to my Run and Debug menu and click on Show All Automatic Debug Configurations. So it will show you all the default configurations available in our system. So let me click on C Sharp, as .NET MAUI is also built on C Sharp only. Once you clicked on that, you can see now my VS Code has started building the project. Now we have successfully launched our first application using our VS Code. You can also debug it in a similar way as we used to do in our Visual Studio. So let's go to Explorer view, select our main page.xml.cs file. Let me minimize this console and put a breakpoint over here. Now when I click on it, as you can see, we can debug it in a similar way as we used to do in our Visual Studio. You can make use of these arrow keys to debug this application. So let me click on continue for now. And that's it. So congratulations guys. Now you have created your first .NET MAUI application using VS Code. And I wanted to give a huge thank to the subscriber who requested this video. And I am thrilled to be bringing you this tutorial. And I hope it makes developing .NET MAUI in VS Code easier for you. A thing of note here, all upcoming videos for now will be done in Visual Studio Code. So stay tuned for more tips and tutorials. Thank you, and I will see you in our next one.